Good morning, everybody. Michael the Maven. Today, I am going to give you the quick rundown on the 90D, which I have right here, versus the 80D and the 7D Mark II. I've been getting a lot of questions about this. There's a short answer and there's a very long answer. The short answer is the 90D is a better all-around Goldilocks kind of camera. However, there are some specific reasons that I would kind of steer people back to the 7D Mark II. So I've heard it from multiple sources that Canon has no immediate plans for a 7D Mark III, which means that the 90D could be pretty much the expected replacement for the 7D Mark II, which opens up a number of questions, the most important of which is the lens resolving power. So there's lots of features I could talk about, but I think the biggest one is that we're talking about a 32.5 megapixel sensor on the 90D, which is a very tight pixel density. It's 3.2 microns. When we look at the 7D Mark II, that's a 20 megapixel sensor. And what we're seeing in the 90D is the 90D is pretty much out resolving that 100 to 400 version 1. So if you're a 7D Mark II shooter and you're using the 100 to 400 version 1, if you upgrade, you're probably going to have to upgrade your lens, and that is not a cheap lens. It's a very high performing lens, but it should have enough resolving power on the 90D for sport shooting. That is a very important consideration to take into account if you're thinking about going from a 7D Mark II or you're looking at any of those three cameras. In terms of the 80D, there's a couple things you should be aware of. The 80D is limited to 1080 video. It doesn't have the 120 frames per second that we see on the 90D. We have a Digic 8 processor in the 90D versus Digic 6 processors in the 80D and the 7D Mark II. We have a joystick, which ergonomically makes it a lot easier to change those focusing squares. So we're seeing lots of very nice overall improvements. The 7D Mark II, in my opinion, it's better built. It has some nice extra features like, a GPS module. It's a much better buffer. I think in my test, it was over 200 shots for JPEG. I'm getting about 140 JPEGs out of the 80D, where I'm only getting about 60 or 70 on the 90D. That's something to kind of keep in mind. In terms of raw images, we're getting 28 on the 7D Mark II. The 80D, it's getting about 26. And on the 90D, we're getting like up to 33 with the compact RAW, about 22 with the regular RAW size. The 7D Mark II also shoots with 2 cards. So if you're doing professional work, that kind of makes sense in terms of the backup. You get more focusing squares, a couple better options. They're both 10 frames per second, but overall the 90D in regards to its sensor, the sensor is very high performing. I did a dynamic range test where I could see that it was well over 1 stop better of dynamic range. We have an articulating touchscreen monitor, we got 4K video. Another really important feature about the 90D is the eye detection. So if you are shooting portraits, that is a huge game changer. In terms of the downsides on the 90D, a lot of the things and the problems that I've seen with it have been resolved. The 24p is coming. Canon has already announced this, so it didn't ship originally with 24p, but it is coming now. The soft focusing issue had to do, I believe, with the resolving power of the lenses. So if you do go with the 90D, you might have to upgrade your lenses, and that's going to cost more money. There was a tracking problem, but we figured out that could be resolved by turning ITR off in the orange tab. Second item, number 12. Put that to disable. I think the 90D is definitely a better overall performer, but take into consideration the pixel density and the resolving power of the lenses you are shooting on. There are some more tests I need to do. I have an epic shootout coming on the 90D, but I just wanted to give you the quick rundown of the important things. So if you like this content, hit that subscription bell. I'll have more coming. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.